Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me and, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I do for a little while now. I go over there to try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I'm excited for this one. I really hope it's good. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I was like, to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my Cold shirt, established in 1996. And if you are unfamiliar with the band Cold, they had a good run. And to be fair, they're still running, so I shouldn't say, had. But they definitely, sort of their heyday was kind of the late 90s, early 2000s era. That's when, like, their two biggest albums came out, 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage and Year of the Spider. I really like this band. I've been into them since basically that period when they're kind of in their new metal phase. They sort of, they've switched up their styles and stuff. But I've really enjoyed what they've put out pretty much across the board for different reasons sometimes. But Scooter, the lead singer, I think he's a fantastic frontman. He's a great lyricist. And just, I've always been really impressed by what they output. So much so, I've seen him perform live on a number of occasions. That's actually where I got this shirt. I saw him just a couple weeks ago. I just think they're really fucking good, man. Like, I've really, really always enjoyed their stuff. And if you ever get the opportunity and you're ever in the inclination, go check them out live. I actually have a number of videos of said live performances that I've attended. They're on this channel as well, just in case maybe you want to check them out. But I really recommend their stuff. And don't just go off of Stupid Girl, because that's like their one big, that was like their biggest song. It's like, trust me, if you want to get into Cold, I can recommend you, I don't know, a dozen other songs, more than a dozen other songs that I think are better representations of what they do. That's just their most popular song. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why am I excited? Why do I need it to be good? That's because it's boom! It is Hollywood's original Shirley Temple soda pop. It's Shirley Temple. And apparently it's the Hollywood's original. It even has, the actual, Shirley Temple thing. And it is bottled under the authority of the Shirley Temple Soda Pop Co. Shirley Temple Soda Pop Co. By Orca Beverages. It's apparently from Washington? Something like that. So anyway, I've reviewed a few Shirley Temples on the show before. I've done ones that were foreign. I did one that was more artisanal. I like a Shirley Temple, but boy does it need to be specific. So I'm hoping that with this being the OG, let's get a thing for the thing here, folks. Maybe. Nah, let's do it like this. Yeah, I think that'll work better. Ha 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 ha! Yeah. So let's open it up, give it a shot. Are you a twist off? Yes, you are. Ooh, okay. It's got that nice cherry smell to it. Let's give it a go. Yes! Ooh, okay. This is it. I'm calling it right now. I think, out of the Shirley Temples that I've reviewed, this is my favorite one. Because immediately, I got hit with that nice sort of cherry flavor. And man, was that good. The other ones had cherry flavor too, sort of in their own ways, but they all just kind of try to do their own thing with it. I don't know, this perfectly reminds me, almost perfectly reminds me of Shirley Temples that I had when I was a kid. And that's what I've been looking for, That is so good. It's got a nice strong rush of that cherry flavor. And it's not like a super sweet cherry. It's not like a maraschino cherry or something. It's more, a maraschino? I don't know what the fuck ever. But it's got just this nice thing. And then there's almost a sort of citrusy kind of backing to it. The only thing about it that makes it a little bit different than the ones that I remember is that this one actually has a little bit of a tartness. It sort of initially hits with that cherry flavor. Then again, you get sort of almost like a, kind of Spritey kind of citrusness to it. And then after that, the cherry flavor kind of changes up and it takes on more of a tart cherry flavor. And as a kid, I remember it really just being sweet the whole way through. So I like that this has some depth to it. This is really cool. Oh, that's so good. It's sweet at certain parts, tart at certain parts, and refreshing the entire way. That is just, and it's like perfect in like how it's balanced, where it's like, again, you got like the nice fruity sweetness, and then you go over there, you know, you've got the nice kind of tartness, neither lingers too long, you know, they don't wear out their welcomes. I was a little bit worried when the tartness first kicked in that it was just going to hold for the entire rest of the experience. And I was like, I don't know that I want tartness for the rest. But no, instead it just kind of does its thing. It hits. And then it's just this nice, refreshing, really good soda. I like this so much. This makes me so happy. I like it. It makes me happy. You're my new best friend. Not really. I have a lot of other friends that are best friends before you. But I'll give you a fair amount of credit. You're damn fine beverage. There is nothing I dislike about that. It's got contrasting flavors. It's super refreshing. It hits on my childhood nostalgia. Damn it, that's a good time. So much so, I am bestowing upon this an honor that I do not bestow on most of the items that I review. Because, folks, this right here, this is the business. And you folks know, if I'm saying something's the business, that means it's the business. Okay? I do not toss that out there lightly. I have reviewed probably 200 or 2,000 fucking things at this point on my channel. I would say maybe a couple dozen, something like that, have gotten that honor. But this is just, I love this. But, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Clearly and clearly. I think for me, this is exactly what I want. Not only is this exactly what I want out of a Shirley Temple, it's giving me things I didn't know I wanted. That's fucking crazy, you know? Because, like, again, you know, I had this nice nostalgic kind of image in my head and flavors and how they worked, and I got that. But then there was, like, a more mature flavor to it. You know, things that I can appreciate more as I'm, you know, older, my palate is expanded from when I was a kid and I just wanted sweet shit all the time. I like this so much. Like, I'm flat out, like, I'm going to call it, I'm going to say that this is, you know, it's not my favorite soda of all time. We're not going crazy here. But I would be willing to put this in the upper tier of sodas that I like. 100%. It's not going to be the top spot, but, like, out of all the sodas I've had, and I've had a shitload of sodas, you all know that. I mean, I'd be willing to go over there and probably say maybe at least top 50. At least top 50. You know, after that it would get a little bit, but that's really good. And if I'm recommending it, I think that if you're like me, especially if you have that, like, nostalgia for Shirley Temples, this is what you want to go in for. And I think even if you don't, though, I think as long as you just like soda, this is a great soda. It does all the things it needs to do, and it doesn't do any of them for too long or too short. It's, like, perfectly balanced. It just, I can't recommend it enough, man. I think that's just a really good beverage. And I think if you have the opportunity to try it out, give it a go. That's really good. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly Shirley Temple-tastic rest of your life, because I finally found a really good Shirley Temple. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you've got some nostalgic drink from back in your day, right? And maybe you haven't had it in a really long time, you know? Maybe it's just not available in, you know, that kind of way, or, you know, it's just something you haven't thought about in a while. comment to that effect. You know, I would love, genuinely love to hear about, like I said, just, you know, any, like, nostalgic drinks or things that, you know, you remember from your childhood that you really enjoyed. You don't even have to still like them now, you know, but just stuff like that, because I find that stuff so fascinating, you know, because especially when we're kids, most people, I like to think, you know, our palates evolve, and, you know, we go over there and we like things that we didn't like before, and some of the things that we did like before, maybe we don't like as much now. So it's always interesting to see where people kind of come from as far as that whole thing is concerned. And to be fair, some people just stick with a certain palate their whole life, and that's fine too. I had one of my best friends, he has a very specific palate. That is all he is interested in. Anything beyond that, and he's just like, not my thing. And that's fine. Anyway.